Huh? Hey, I'm tryna win. I'm tryna win in the 716 and I'm making it big. I wanna live. I think I'm ready to.
Like, y'all supposed to eat it.
You ready, bro?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yo, what's good, man? It's the AC Pinchal Podcast with your one and only host, Glory Boy, back here with another special guest. Yes, sir.
Brody, how you doing?
I'm chilling, bro. How you doing?
I'm all right, Glory.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Mr. Balistic Man, we've been trying to do this in a minute, bro.
No.
Finally here. Finally here. Yep. That's why in life sometimes you just gotta have faith. You just gotta keep going. Cause I kept pushing, bro. I'm like, man, I gotta have you on it.
Yeah.
I keep pushing. I keep bothering Kenny, your manager. I'm like, Kenny, bro, let's make this happen. He said, bro, I know, bro, but we in New York City. I'm like, Kenny, let's make this happen. I know, Glory, but we got this other event to go to.
Yeah. So we supposed to come after New York City, but then we had so many events and the Buffalo Herd Fest coming up with me and FatJoe, so it was just so much going on. So then when it finally all ended, I said, man, oh, Glory, I was supposed to hit Glory up to go do this podcast, and I was like, that's when I reached out, like let's make it happen.
I appreciate you, bro, for that.
I appreciate you having me on.
Definitely. But yeah, man, before we even get started, y'all go ahead and hit the subscribe button, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And also, we're going to start off by letting Mr. Balistic Man introduce himself however he want to introduce himself, and then we're going to start off with a new banger that he got for us, all right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's your boy Balistic Man. It's Eat, Sip, and Chat podcast. I'm here with your boy Glory. It's Buffalo Herd. Join the herd. Balistic Man, up and away.
Yes, sir. Up and away.
Yeah.
All right, bro. So now we're going to go ahead and just give them the Severe Ties, which is a new song that you just dropped. Yeah. More like a summer banger. Yeah. Summer is fading away, but you was like, man, I'm just trying to bring the heat back still.
Yeah.
You feel me?
We only got so much time out here in the summer, so
that's it.
I said, I got to drop this before the summer's over, man.
I feel like that's what the weather been pretty hot so far. I thought summer already ended, but since this banger, bro, it be hot.
Yeah, I mean, this right here you could put on, man, even when it get a little cool out, and it still make you feel like it's summer, you know what I'm saying? And I want to shout out one time, shout out to my producer, Tokyo Runway, for producing that. He definitely came correct with that. So.
All right, shout out to him, bro. Let's go.
Yo. I saw a future with us together, but it's like she just want to sever ties. I don't know why, but let's talk about it. We sever ties, but paradise is never nice if it don't happen twice. Girl, I feel like a prisoner. I'm trapped up on your island. It's practically violent. You capping with your silence, but she don't want no compromise. She just wanna sever ties. She don't want no compromise. She just wanna sever ties. What happened to us? We had big plans. I was way more than your average man. Can compare me to none, not even one. Not even close, they do not even coming. I probably run through your mind like a race. My love, good luck if you're trying to replace it. I'm trying to escape, don't make me a prisoner. Lock me up, gotta wait for a visitor. Rest in peace, Christopher Wallace and Pac. Funny the problems that Wallace unlocked. Jealousy, hate, envy, entitlements. Guess that's the way of an empty environment. So many problems I never realized. Should've told truths instead of the lies. Guess that's the feeling when settling dies. Never thought we would be.
Yes, sir. But it sounds more like a love song. Like you was expressing yourself. So tell us more about this song, though, because they sound more like you're expressing your feelings, or you're speaking of like a woman that basically trying to tell her something based on your past history and so on. So like, what made you actually come up with this song and the title itself, Sever Ties? Yeah,
Sever Ties is just like when people start going their separate ways, like at the end of a relationship. It could pertain to friendships as well. Anything that you do in life, sometimes you just got to sever ties,
Right.
It's not meant in a malice way. This song was obviously about more of a relationship that I was in, that I severed ties with. We went our separate ways, but you could relate to it with anything that you do. Sometimes in life, you just got to sever ties, just because you grow apart, and you sever ties along the way. And that's what it is, just, severing those ties, those things that, are holding you down, holding you back from growing.
Right, definitely, bro. I understand, though, man. I've been there.
Yeah,
I've been there. You know, you just gotta sever ties.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now let me ask you a few questions, bro. Like, tell us about yourself, though, your upbringing, just your childhood. How was your childhood, and where you was raised?
You know, I was raised in Buffalo, New York, downtown Buffalo, New York. I'm 100% born and raised. You know, shout out to the whole Swan down the way, all my boys down there. And you know, it was a rough upbringing. Honestly, I can't even front on that. Like, I luckily was blessed to have my grandmother around to make things, you know, better and guide me, and try to raise me the right way. But unfortunately, you know, growing up, my father was in prison, my brother was in prison, my uncles, everybody was in jail, you know, incarcerated for crimes. Whole family. So you know, it's hard when you're a child and you're brought into that type of upbringing. You know what I mean? It's like quicksand trying to bring you down, and when you don't have the right role models or guidance along the way, it's very hard to break out of that.
Right. How was the experience though? Like, let me say you go to school, because you know a lot of kids either get bullied because of things like that. You say your father was in prison, brother, and so on. Did you ever face any bullying because of that? Not having a father present?
No, not no bullying, but it's more a feeling of being alone. When you don't have a male role model as a child, and you're there by yourself. Yeah, you may have your mother or your grandma or whatever stuff like that, but as a man, I'm sure if you maybe you could relate to, you know, is when you have your father there,
right.
Somebody like a male figure, that security, that protection, that you know that you have that behind you, that support makes you feel a little bit more confident about going through life. But when you're just lost out there, pretty much, you know, you just as a child, as a boy, you know, I'm speaking as a man, you just lost. You know what I mean? So it's just you roam. You don't have no one to ask for guidance, ask for advice. You know, you can ask other people, but it's different than asking like your father, that you know who would steer you the best way. You know.
Right. And how long was he in prison for, if you don't mind me
My father was in prison. He went to prison a few times, so he probably did 7, almost a decade throughout my life. You know, just he was locked up a lot, you know, because he was raised without his father, unfortunately. And you know, it gets deeper than that. So he just, you know, was doing what he had to do. Like you said, he came from Puerto Rico, and then went to the Bronx, and his family split up, and half stayed in the Bronx, New York, and then the other half went to Buffalo.
Right.
So he was pretty much a street kid. You know what I mean? So.
And Bronx is crazy, man. I mean, for those that been in New York City, they know. I mean, it's a lot of gangs and so on going on in the Bronx, and so And also, did y'all keep your relationship close? Because even though, you know, a person may be in jail, at the end of the day, they can still be your role model in a way that they will send you notes to encourage you not to do the same thing that they did. So did y'all keep that?
He would send me letters and stuff like that, just telling me how he misses me and he loves me and stuff like that. But we wasn't close until I got older. You know what I mean? And I had my son, and you know, still I wanted him to have his grandfather around because he's asking for his grandfather and stuff, and my father was asking for him. And then when I got older, and that's what I tell people, just you gotta find the root of things. You know, when I got older, I understood his story a little bit more. You know, and how he lost his mother when he was just a child, didn't have a father around as much. You know what I mean? Like I didn't. You know what I mean? So you know, and then he, you know, growing up pretty much in the streets. You know, so you got to find the root, and then that's why I was just like, yo, you know what? My life could have been worse than his. You know what I mean? It was as bad as his. So you get older, and as a man, you just kind of, I guess when you get older as a man, you kind of like, like it ain't bothering me. Like it don't bother me that much. Like people be like, oh, it don't bother. Nah. Like, oh, but if
Nah, bro, I'm a man. I understand his story.
Right.
You know, and it could go deeper. You could go to your grandfather, the great-great-grandfather, you know what I mean? But I just care about my father's story. That's it. You know what I mean? Other than that, it's like, I don't really care about nothing else. That's it. Right. And I'm good. I'm a grown man now, so it ain't like it affect me like that no more.
Right, because now you at that point where like you got so much things to worry about,
right.
rather than to let other things hold you.
Yeah.
That's why I always use this term every time I feel like something is bothering me. I'm like, if I let it bother me, then it's in control of me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You feel me? Then sometimes I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna let it be in control of me. Like I'm trying to be in control of my life.
Yep.
But yeah. Also speaking of jail itself, you also did go to prison.
Yeah.
So tell us, like, how was that experience for you as well? Like, did you go through that phase of, of saying, man, like my father always used to tell me, to do the right things and so on. Yeah. And how did you handle that situation yourself?
It was crazy because I went to federal prison, and when I used to write letters home and stuff like that, I remember the letters in 055, the number you get when you from Buffalo. They slapped that as your back number.
So everybody from Buffalo is 055.
055, Buffalo, Rochester, and Niagara Falls. So I remembered the numbers when I used to write home, and I remember my father's numbers. You know what I mean? Like, damn. And I'm like, I ended up in the same situation, and I was like, man, I gotta break this generational curse before it keeps going. But because I had just had my son right before I went in. So I was just like, damn. So I got my GED in prison. Changed my life, got my workout game on. I was only 20. I didn't even turn 21 yet. So all my friends is out partying at 21. 21 is a big year for us guys.
That's facts.
They all partying, having a good time. I turned 21. I'm in federal prison. With big dogs, you know what I mean? With so but I still had had good birthdays in there. I had some good people surrounding me, some older guys that they did, that was like, yo, man, you only got a couple years to do, man. You're gonna be all right, man. We're gonna do is we're gonna help you. We're gonna get, we're gonna get you right, show you how to get your workout game on, get your education, and get the fuck out of here, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Damn, bro. And you speaking of federal prison, because I had somebody on my podcast actually. I don't know if you saw the clip. His name is Gambino. Gambino also went to federal prison, and his experience is like, man, federal prison is nothing compared to like this little county jails or whatever. Yeah. So how was that, and how did you keep yourself, safe in the federal prison? Because when you go there, you meet people from all over the country.
All over the country, right?
And you don't know who's the bad person until you come across them. So how did you keep yourself, very much composed and safe throughout your sentencing? I mean, your time there.
It's all, I think, what you doing with yourself first. So, if you I feel like if you know what you're doing with yourself and you know yourself,
right, you
know who you're gonna surround yourself with as far as your environment. As soon as I got an inkling of what these people did, like I'm gonna be real with you, I'm tired. So I know when I went in there, they like, yo, these people do that, yo, that's that. Yo, you walk with that person, yo, he boom, boom, boom.
Right.
So you like, cool. You know what I mean? You got to know right there and then. And in there, ain't no room for error. You got to, you got to, like, that person did this. Oh, nah, stay away from them. Yo, these people, they do this and this and this. Stay away from them, and that's pretty much how I steered clear. Plus, I got my education. I stayed in programs. Any program I could get into, I jumped in so that I was programming and constantly busy. You get what I mean? And then, if a program's 3 months, 4 months, whatever case may be, every time you finish a program, okay, that's 4 months out the way. Right. That's 6 months out the way. That's this much out the way. And then I'm busy too. So after breakfast, chow, and after the last meal, we got a little bit of rec time, and then you go in, and I'm the type that jump right in my bunk and just go right to sleep quick. So I ain't getting bothered. You know what I mean?
That's it.
I'm out the way. Phew, I'm trying to hit fast forward as fast as I can on this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get these couple of years out the way, and so I could get out of here.
Definitely.
So
bro.
Other people, they doing other things. You know what I'm saying? You go upstairs, they smoking some bud, they on phones with podcasts, they drinking the hooch, they doing all this. They running out. Man, I can tell you stories. They running outside, grabbing bags filled with anything contraband you could think of. You know what I'm saying? They doing the wildest things. Dudes bringing dudes was bringing girls on the compound. Cause where I was at, you could go run towards like the field. It was like the outside of the prison. And you could run towards the field, man. Dudes was bringing girls on the compound. It was wild. I was seeing some wild things. So I was just like, you know what I mean? Just close my eye. I'm good. I'm out the way, man. Like, and honestly, like if you stay out the way in most situations, like anybody that be like, oh, I got it. Chances are you was playing with the fire a little bit. Yeah, right. Mind your business and stay out the way.
That's it.
You could really, like, that's like if you in the streets and you around mad killers and you end up killing somebody or getting killed or in a situation where somebody getting killed, you knew what you was doing in the first place, bro. You just kept, I'm not, you know what I mean? You just kept playing, man, right there and then when you knew these was some killers, you wanted to stay out that situation, but then they want to get in this situation and then be like, oh, it wasn't me, it was, nah, you put yourself in that situation. You knew you could have walked out of that situation.
Nah, definitely, bro. So it basically just watch what situations you put yourself in, because then whatever consequences that come with it, be ready for it.
Right.
And also, I wanted to ask you this, bro. So I know when a lot of people go to jail, like they learn, like something hits them, because like sometimes in life, if you was a badass kid or just whatever, you learn when you face the hard situations.
Yeah.
So what life lesson did you learn while you was in prison to say, you know what, I'm never gonna go through this direction ever again. I'm trying to better myself to become a better person going forward.
That I'm stronger than I thought I was when it came to everything. I got my GED in prison.
Right.
I always thought there was something wrong with me. I thought I couldn't learn. I was like, yo, I'm gonna put my brain to the test. You know what I'm saying? And so that was one thing I did. I stayed. I was on it. I was like focusing. I was really studying, taking work back. I was spending an hour after class. I'm by myself, working on my studies. So I passed. I got my GED in there. Fitness. I was doing my repetition. I learned. I got with a good trainer. Luckily, he saw I was young and stuff. He's like, yo, listen, Skip. I'm gonna get you in shape before you leave. You're gonna look like a male model, and you're gonna thank me for the rest of your life. And I think shout out to my bro Ryan, man. That's what his name was. His name was Ryan, and he was like a drill sergeant type though. Wow. He gonna wake you up at 5 a.m. I'm like, oh, 5 a.m. He's like, get the fuck up. I'm like, he's like, come on. I'm like, oh shit, but it pushed me to go that harder, and then that discipline stayed with me, and I loved it. So I push myself now. I talk to myself like that. I'm like, get the fuck up, man. All right, you know what I mean? Throw water in my face, and anybody that's around me know, they be like, oh shit, they like, be drill sergeant ballistic, because that's how I talk to myself. So I can't let myself slack. So I'm telling y'all, I can't let y'all slack. Mm-hmm. So these are the type of things that it's just that you're stronger than you are, and you think you are, pretty much.
Definitely, bro. I mean, I'm glad you actually came out to you actually was able to learn that, because I mean, people can tell based on your work ethic. I mean, if they go through your page and everything, and pages don't really tell people anything. I feel like when you really do come across people, but based on what you do, you're like all over the place. So that discipline, I can really tell. Yeah. But yeah, so I wanted to actually start off from there, and then I wanted to lead up to your music journey. Right. So let's talk about your album Bad Decision. So when you did write Bad Decision, was it related based on your life story? I mean, leading up to where you went to jail, because I wanted to start from there and then now to the album. So tell us more about the album itself. Yeah, so Bad Decisions is definitely a play off of obviously the bad decisions that I made throughout my life. There's bits and pieces of my life throughout my music regardless. I got an album called Street Legacy, Those Days, and then, I got Bad Decisions. And that's just a play off of the bad decisions that I made, but it's not about the bad decisions that you made. Those don't define who you are. You can always change and move forward in your life, So that album definitely was based off of my life and, some of the bad decisions I made. And then also too, there's some fun records on there too. I always try to add a little extra in my albums, you know what I mean? With, just I don't want to drown people out with the sob story. Right, definitely, bro. And so the bad decisions that you made, and so throughout your album, did you what kind of message was you giving to your audience? Because you know a lot of times when you sit there and you start writing, you know you pour your heart out, like your heart out. You know, you're like, man, like this is what I went through, and I don't want you guys to
Right.
you know. So like, what message were you giving to the audience in order for them to better themselves?
Bad decisions, pretty much the message what I was giving them was, no matter what, even though you made these bad decisions, you can still move forward. These bad decisions that you may have made don't define who you are. You could change your life and you could make better decisions along the way.
Right.
Like, even if you listen to the play on Bad Decisions, the actual single, I'm actually talking about a girl that left me. Like, yo, you made a bad decision. Hopefully in the future, like, even though you made a bad decision, I told you was going to make a bad decision when you left me, right? Hopefully you don't make this same type of decision. Hope you make better decisions in the future. So yeah, it could be a play on a relationship, bad decisions, or some bad decisions I made in the streets growing up.
Right.
So, but it don't define who you are, and hopefully you make better decisions along the way.
Nah, facts. That's it, bro. I mean, I like that. That's really good. I mean, for the listeners, man, we always want, because the music today, I mean, as you heard, it's not, it's not giving people great decisions, you know. So we always look forward to like music that's actually very much powerful, like a storytelling, a story that's very much impactful. And you can, when you walked in here, you actually looked at the book, the 50 Cent book, you know.
Listen to that. I got the audio.
You say you've heard it like a couple times. So was it like one of the books that you even tuned into when you was in prison, or was it? Was there some other books that you were
so
reading?
That book. There was some other books in prison that I read. I was skimmed through books like The Great White Pale Horse, I believe it is, and a few other books. I honestly in prison I was so focused on my GED and working out that I didn't really read too much. But so oddly enough, I find time when I'm on the road during shows or I'm on a plane, and that's when I found the 50 Cent Curtis. I happened to run across a little skit of a little sample of the book, a clip, and it was 50 talking. I was like, oh, 50 did a voiceover for this book, and it was so deep what he was talking about. I was like, I gotta listen to this whole book. So I went and got the Audible, but I caught that in between like plane rides and drives back and forth to shows and things that I was doing.
Right. And so tell me, bro. I mean, because you've been working with a lot of different people. You brought FatJoe to Buffalo.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, what's some artists, you know, in the game that have actually inspired you and that you're willing to work with in the future if you was to have the opportunity to?
Oh man, there's so many, man. My range of music is crazy, but definitely 50 Cent, Drake, Eminem. Tizo Touchdown, shout out to Tizo Touchdown, has been an amazing artist that I've been listening to lately. If you're not familiar with him, there's so many. FatJoe, obviously, DJ Khaled, Benny the Butcher. He's an inspiration. Westside, Conway. So there's tons of my main influence that got me started rapping was Tupac though.
Right.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Tupac.
Rest in peace to Tupac.
He inspired a lot of people, bro, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And also, like, any new projects on the way?
Yeah. I got a bunch of new projects right now. Bad Decisions is the most recent project. Shout out to KFMG and Fraction Music. He's the one who produced it. Right. KFMG's the label. But I got tons of new music that's just sitting in the tuck, you know. So it's just all ready to come out. I'm just gonna start blasting it out. Hey. You know,
hey, we waiting on it, bro. We waiting on it. Yep. And also, how about? So tell us. Okay, so I want to actually know, how did you come across, you know, just bringing FatJoe here? Because it's not an easy process bringing someone like that. You know, he's a legend. You know, he've done some music that people still play in the clubs until today. How did that happen for you?
I actually got his book too as well, Jose. Okay. That's another book. That's a real inspiring book.
Okay.
So if y'all ain't got it, go get Jose. And shout out to FatJoe. I met FatJoe through my big bro Pistol Pete. shout out to KAR.
Okay.
Shout out to Miami and everybody out from the Bronx. Pistol Peace, super legendary OG, and honestly, he gives me good game every single time I talk to him. Every time I see him, it was like I saw him yesterday. And he's like, "Liz, what up?" And he gives me good game, and he heard my music, and he was like, "Yo, I want to work with you a little bit." And I eventually, did some songs with my bro Who Bang. I did some songs with his producer Who Bang out in Miami. We went to Miami and did that, and then not too long after, we ended up linking with DJ Khaled and FatJoe.
Nice.
And doing a record together, and me and my brother Kenny, we were planning on doing something big, and we were like, "Yo, let's see if we could bring Joe out here." So we had Buffalo Herd Fest coming up. We started putting that together, and we was like, we wanted Joe to be the headliner, to bring something back to Buffalo, to the community. So that place we threw Buffalo Herd Fest at is where I was raised. So that's a community center, a Hispanic community center.
Nice.
And we used to go there for everything. Shows. They do the Puerto Rican Festival, the Greasebo Festival every year there. That's where the home of the annual Greasebo Festival is every year. So we were like, yo, we was blessed. Shout out to Mr. Alavencia and everybody for giving us our own day there. They were like, yo, you can have your own day, your own festival.
Really?
Yep. And I was like, yo, so I'm going to do Buffalo Herd Fest because obviously that's my brand.
Definitely.
And I was like, yo, let's bring something back to Buffalo that's special. And I was like, man, I got to bring Joe Crack. Joe Crack is, that's who we've been working with, and he's always been an inspiration, man. I grew up listening to Big Pun. Big Pun is one of my favorite rappers. He probably made me want to, a secondary to Tupac, probably made me want, because it was Pac that made me want to be a rapper, and then Pun made me want to rap. That's all I always say. Like, when I heard Pun rapping, I was like, yo. And then Joe, Joe being, the leader of Terror Squad and the Don, it's just like, he's a super inspirational, legendary guy, and I wanted to work with him close, when I got the chance to. So, shout out to FatJoe for coming out to Buffalo Herd Fest and, helping that happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and how was the event itself, the
great.
festival, bro? Like, just based on your own, perspective. I mean, being the person that was part of it, a person that did bring FatJoe to Buffalo, a person that's basically with your brand, Buffalo Herd. How was it? How did the people of Buffalo respond?
It was great
to what you brought to Buffalo.
It was a beautiful crowd, man. Shout out to everybody that came to Buffalo Herd Fest. Shout out to all of our sponsors, all of the companies that came and worked. Shout out to my bro Naheem over at the Black Den. That was the band that was with me. DJ Michael, my brother Chazi, Wilmer Alavencia, my brother Kenny. Just so many people. There's so many people involved to even mention, but it was a lot. It was everybody that came, especially the thousands of people that came.
Right.
Brother Buddha Bumps. Shout out to Buddha Bumps. He put it down. My bro Hydro over here. He put it down, and the crowd came, man. Just they came out. They loved it. Joe came doing. I killed it. The crowd loved our show. Me and Black Den rocked out. We did our thing. We performed all my classics, and we did them live, which was so beautiful. Crowd loved it. They went crazy, and Joe did all of his classics. He had the crowd singing. Lean back. All the way up. What's love? I mean, you can't. Those are songs that it's forever type.
But yeah, that's amazing, bro. My bad. I was just trying to check the camera real quick. But yeah, that's good, bro. I mean, if you did get that response back from the Buffalo community, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like, it's not always about the money, but also it's about the love and the support that you get that keeps you moving forward,
Yeah, that was tough to throw in. Throwing on the festival out here is not easy.
It's not easy,
a
bro.
lot that people don't know that go behind that.
We were just having that conversation about comparing Buffalo, Toronto, New York City at ATL. We were just having that conversation because in Buffalo it's very hard because also a lot of people. Buffalo is a cheap place, but it's not. It's not like living in New York City. But people in New York City still manage to go to concerts to support artists,
right,
and so on. But in Buffalo, like, you could say, okay, it's just like $20, and people was like, "Come on, man!"
Right? Yep.
Yeah.
But it's getting like that a lot, though. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, they're starting to throw free festivals everywhere. So it's kind of like hindering the acts because, you know, they got to get paid too as well. Right. So it's tough. But even for us, like me being an act, so that people don't understand, that day I did everything. I did all the tarping, the gates. I was on top of the roof putting banners up.
Wow.
I was in charge of talking with the, you know, chopping it with the from the security, from all the line down, you know, walking the lines from the companies that came, the vendors that came. Me and my bro Kenny put a lot of work in, along with being the act. So it was a lot. When I tell you, that's just a quarter of what went on. Like it took a long time to pull that off, you know. Man, so people don't understand how much work goes into a major festival like that, and then they even just get the yes from the city. You know, to get the yes.
Also, you got to get the yes from the city as well and everything.
You can't shut down those streets like that. You got to get the permits. You got to get all that. The Buffalo PD was in the air. I ain't gonna hold you. Buffalo PD was up in the air with the whole like task force thing, the SWAT. I was like, man, this is crazy. So it's a lot of work, man.
But that was good though. I mean, if they were there, it kind of kept the premises very much safe for the people.
Yep.
Which is amazing, bro. But shout out to you, bro, for doing that for the city. You know, more things to come, you know, in the future.
Yes.
But yeah, so I always want to ask people this before we end, is like, what few words do you have for the younger generation? Because I know you've been through your ups and downs. You know, what few words do you have for them in order for them to actually see the good in life rather than seeing life as like something bad?
Man, you gotta appreciate life just in general when you open your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to wake up even in prison and just like, you know what I mean? I'm thankful. You gotta be grateful for, like you said, you came all the way from where you came from. You know what I mean? To get in a better situation. There's somebody right now that wishes they could be in your situation. But you sitting there complaining because of small things that are, you know, that you could eventually change. It could be anything, like, you know, and you just gotta look at life as like, yo, I'm here and I can make anything happen. We created in God's image, and that's what it means is, you know, He gave us the power to be able to do anything we want to do. You could use it for evil, use it for good. You can use it to help others, help yourself, and help others. You know what I mean? There ain't nothing wrong with help. We're doing both, you know? And that's why obviously what we do. You know, I could tell you that type of guy, I'm that type of guy. So you just want to realize, like, yo, bro, everybody gets in those situations, but like you were just talking about a minute ago, being in control of your own emotions, because you got to control that stuff. You have the power to control your own emotions. You can't let other people control you from something they said. You got to catch that. Like, you ain't gonna control. I'm in control of my life. You know what I mean? And so I just tell people, man, work hard for the things you want too. Just understand. Like I just told you, I was burning out in the sun, putting gates and fences up and tarps up and on top of roofs, putting banners up. Wow. I was doing all types of extra stuff, setting up, doing everything. It took almost a year to put together a major festival in our city, bringing FatJoe down and stuff. And I did that by myself, just to bring something back to the community. And I was an artist, so. One of my biggest, most inspirational songs is "Work Hard for This" with me and Benny the Butcher, and you know, I say it ain't happen overnight. You got to work hard for it, you know, and shit ain't happen overnight. You got to work hard for it. So there ain't no secret pill for success. It's just dedication, sacrifice, and hard work, and you gotta appreciate the journey. People don't realize they search for cars and jewelry and fame, and at the end of the day, what you're going to come to realize is what 50 said in that book, is that we're all searching for freedom. That's at the end of that book. And that's what made the most sense to me, because it's like, yo, it's the truest thing. Like, we're all just searching for freedom. And while you're in the search for freedom, it's a journey. It's a journey that you gotta be appreciative about. Right. It's the journey. It's not the end goal. It's the journey. And when you get to the end of your life, you're gonna realize that that's what it is. That's all that it meant. That's all that was there all along, is the journey.
Journey, that's it.
And if you don't appreciate it along the way, you're gonna come to the end. And it's gonna be over before you know it. And you're gonna be sitting there like, whoa, that was the point. So appreciate the ups, the downs, the laughter, the cries, the anger, the frustrations, the wins, and the losses.
Amen, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, bro. I mean, that was an amazing ending right there. Yeah. And yeah, man. So this was an amazing, bro. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
you. You know, this is the Easy Pinchao podcast, man. Y'all go ahead and hit the subscribe button, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And don't forget to go ahead and follow Mr. Balistic Man on all social media platforms. And also go ahead and tune into Bad Decisions.
Yes, sir.
Album on all platforms as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to you, bro. Appreciate
you,
it,
man.
Yes, sir. This is Easy Pinchao podcast, man. We out here. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.